Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thomas Ruse Bazar with The Poet Warriors. How's my British accent? Is it awful? I'm sure it is. It's pretty awful. How about if I say literary? Literary. You see it like literary? If you say it in British accent. Literary. Now I've lost my entire contingent of UK, Scotland, Ireland, the New Zealand, Australia. Sorry. Okay, where was I? What am I talking about here? Where am I going? Okay, Writers 101. Last snack we talked about second draft. I talked about my novel and the whole series of finishing first draft, working on second draft, ensuing drafts, editing, query letter. I'm running out of space. Query letter, synopsis, researching agents, sending out, submitting to agents, rejection process, and how about if you actually are accepted process, which is like winning the freaking lottery. Oh my God, I won $7 billion. $7 billion. Okay, so here we are. I talked about the second draft. I'm in the midst of the second draft of my novel, tentatively called Chupa, the historical novel set in 1850 San Francisco. And I'm 40 pages in my second draft, and I talked about that last time. So what am I looking for in my third draft? Well, I think that time I've really cleaned up kind of a sense of the dialogue, the grammar, the legitimacy of the dialogue, the sense of the connections, the connecting the dots of the narrative, character. I don't like to call it development so much, but a sense of consistency with character, especially the main character who's telling the story in the first person. What else? And we call it voice. The music of the language, how it syntactically, how it ties together, how it lays on the page. It's the architecture of it. That's the second draft, the consistency with that. Especially that voice, who's telling the story. The consistency, legitimacy, honesty of that. Or trying to get as close as I can to that. Third draft. What are we looking for? Now we're in third draft. Man, that took 3 minutes to me to get to third draft. Okay. I guess I as I'm writing now, I'm going into my 20th year almost. No, 20th? Yeah. Close to 20th year of writing books. This is my fourth. I've finished. I would like to think I'm getting better at, maybe, 15 years ago, it would take me numerous drafts to get to where I am today with this thing, where I think it's much more put together. It's more organized. It's not as disorganized. So my third draft is more of at an organized place where I can handle, where it really, I'm giving it a kind of final look over. It's almost like if you're taking a comb, right, and brushing out the little tiny, snags, right? Tiny ones, not huge. They shouldn't be clumped at this time. Third one is just like you're still, there's a little, and okay, got it, right? It's really kind of giving a sense of, because at this time, also emotionally, also as a writer, we're human. We kind of get tired of, man, I've been working on this thing for a while. It's going on like 2 years now, with maybe a little bit more with the research and the writing and the doubts of stopping and wanting to shelve it. And so I'm here at this point where I'm not getting really sick of it, but I'm kind of it's time to really finish this thing up and send it off to the editor. So the third draft is basically my kind of final, and here I am. I'm not really emotionally attached, but I have been. It's been this world that I've created of 1850s San Francisco. These characters have lived with me, for 2+ years. So it's been a part of, and whatever I do, whatever I look at, what I think of, and how it's just my life and my writer's life are linked, and that's the way just it is as a creative and as a writer. And so it's not like I'm completely emotionally attached to these characters. I am kind of. I think there is a little bit of distance. I'm not so. Oh God, I'm not anywhere like that. I think because of the amount of years I've been writing, how I feel good about how the story has shaped up and how it's shaped. And I think that's what I'm finally kind of looking at, is the architecture, the shape, how it reads. Some people want to call it readability. In my sense, I have a different definition of readability than others. I think we all do. You're going to have a label of, oh, is this readable? Is this, for the modern audience? I don't know. I would like to think it is, but that's the job of the editor. Also say, oh, this is too much. This is too little. We need to cut this out. Oh, this is not necessary. And there's a lot of it is cutting out. I think at this point in time, especially third draft before it gets to editor, is a lot of cutting out. So third draft is basically just kind of like, how's this thing shaping together in terms of just the crux, the core, the story as told. Is there a flow to it? Is anything really jump out in a weird, very odd way, in a very not unnecessary way? And then, if you catch any other tiny mistakes, there always will be. Kind of, you'll catch them and fix them. But the third draft kind of is like, you're kind of seeing like, yes, this is how I want to tell this story, the shape of it, the architecture of it. I've really kind of brushed it through, combed it through enough, and realigned and reconfigured to a place where, okay, I think it's ready to go to the next level, which is the editor. And we'll get into the editor next. I know I've talked about this before, but I'll get more in depth with this piece specifically about what I'm hoping, how I'm hoping to collaborate with my editor specifically on this work titled Chupa. Okay, so there's some thoughts. Third draft, Chupa, my new work that hopefully will be ready to be sent out in a couple of months. Submitted to the world, to agents and all that. Peace. Tasty.